Hello, my name is Kurt Brown, also known as Saint Rambo, and I'm a former Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation bank examiner. As you know, that's a federal banking regulatory agency in addition to maintaining an insurance fund for deposits. You see them at every bank in town. A regional director for the FDIC was killed in his office because of gambling, I believe, gambling revenues. That was in San Francisco around 1990. They labeled it a suicide. I went to work for the FDIC in California in 1999 and 2000. Attempt was made on my life in 2001. I was pushed out of the office. I noticed something very bizarre about not only in particular the San Francisco office at the highest level, and also, and I'm talking about the office, I'm talking about the entire framework up there at the top level, the FDIC San Francisco. At the time, George Mesa was regional director and Sue Carroll was the assistant regional director. I was ordered to pack my things when I wouldn't drop an EEOC complaint after I'd been there for 1 year. I believe the real reason was because somehow I didn't fit. Somehow I'm not one of them. I'm one of the American people of the working class. We have been pushed out. I'm here to talk to you about that gambling issue. You say you don't want any casinos in your neighborhood. That's like saying I don't want any heroin in my neighborhood, yet you've got heroin that's legally sold across the state line. Every heroin addict and potential heroin addict will be going over there and using it. A lot of casino advocates say it has to do with free will. I agree it has to do with free will. We're free to waste our money. We're free to be swindled. We're free to believe in the lie of the American government as being a democracy. However, in the end, you will find out that your freedom was not free. It was an illusion. Just like you think you're free to have those casinos across the state line not affect you. That is an illusion. You cannot do that. A man, Thomas Crane Wells, was a federal prosecutor killed in his home in Seattle on August 12, 2001. I had been jailed from April 23, 2001 until Thomas Wells was killed on August 11, 2001. I had been jailed from April 23, 2001 to August 12, 2001. I had informed the government about what I believe was money laundering and murder at the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation. I believe that Thomas Wells might have been looking into my case and looking into what I had uncovered. My heart goes out to Thomas Wells. I like to read things backwards sometimes. It's just a habit I picked up. It's just an entertainment thing. And I also have some very kind of, I guess you would say, bizarre methods of testing and surviving. I've survived numerous attempts in my life. I've tested many people involved in money laundering crimes and that sort of thing. To Thomas Crane Wells, my father told me to be a lawyer. I went into finance against my father's advice. I wish I wouldn't have, because I've been tortured, I've been injected, I've been made sick since working as a bank examiner, and I did not realize how corrupt it was. This is like a physics war, in my opinion. This is not your average conflict here. I believe we might have already been swallowed. The American dream is over as far as I'm concerned. The only reason the government remains standing is because if they stop dispersing checks and collecting checks, the whole system would go into mayhem. It's a known fact if mankind is starved, mankind will eat other men. It's a known fact. It's just psychological breakdown is what it is. The underlying animalistic side comes out. I have several degrees in psychology. Kind of one of my fortes, but it's not really my degree, but I've known many psychologists and discoursed things with them, and I've also studied it in length. Thomas Crane Wells, if you spell his name backwards, it's C-Law in arc sameth. Now think about that. See the law in the arc sameth. I think about the ark like the one in Judaism. The Ark, covenant of the Ark. I wish I could get a job back in my industry. I like auditing and bank examination. I want to work in the Treasury or the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, but they won't hire me. So I have to do what I do. I do other things. The way I look at it as a creator is a great big lot. He's been put with many challenges, and if he can do it, or she, or however you look at the creator, then I can do it. This is Kurt Brown, St. Rambo, and the Mobile Audit Club, saying do not allow casinos. That's just one aspect of the corruption that's hit us. We've been hit hard. This is physics. What you might think you see may not be as it is. You can bet it's controlled. You can bet you can be attacked, but it might not be as it is. You might be sitting there cursing, well, look at this person or that person. You might not be looking at what you think. This is Kurt Brown, St. Rambone, saying also, if you think the FBI and the Secret Service and all them aren't corrupted also, you're out of your mind. The National Treasury Employees Union spread over the federal government in 1974. Not to say that they're all bad, not to say everybody in the FBI or SS is bad, but I believe that murder investigation for Thomas Crane Wells was botched on purpose. I do not believe the pilot did it. He would not just leave gun casings there or bullet casings and then hold the gun and still be a pilot unless he was insane. And I just don't believe that. I think the man was set up. There's no telling where this started from or what he was working with, but the multi-billion-dollar drug importation business also needs to launder money. And so in particular does the casinos. We must stop the spread of casinos. This is Kurt Brown, St. Rambone, saying have a good day, and look at my wacky art. I call this American Holocaust art. You see the band of the left hand. And of course this predicted, I drew this before 9/11. I predicted the 9/11 disaster. The government had actually given me an overdose of steroids, and I drew this while I was on those steroids. See my little howling face here? The 3 days of judgment, or the three judges, the two hung. This is my own hieroglyphics. Here's when I predicted I would be going in jail. And down here, this is Sweet Carol. This is the kind of women sometimes that work in the federal government. They come in on the bottom, and all they do is chase money, and they get a lot of it, but they're kind of devoid of any meaning, as this side of the painting shows. Sweet Carol was, this is a name I gave one of the FDIC managers. I won't go into detail. I don't want to offend anyone any more than I have to. This is Kurt Brown, St. Rambone, saying have a good day. If you think you're just going to keep your casinos out of somebody else's neighborhood and it's not going to affect your country, you're full of shit.